Mm-hmm. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Uno más, baby. Uno más. I hope you guys are doing great. My name is Jose Trujillo. I'm an artist. I call myself the world's greatest living artist because it feels right. It just feels right to be the world's greatest living artist. Okay, so let me go put this painting away. And let's start a new one. See what's up. Let's start a new piece. Rocking around. What's happening, beautiful people of the Instagram? What's happening? What's happening? How's it going? M. Schmaltz, what's up? What's happening? Look at this. What are we doing today? We're doing a man on a boat, or person on a boat. I don't know if it's a man on a boat, but it's a person on a boat. On a rowboat, all right. Some paddles. Line right there. Up the creek. There we go. Up the creek. Jennifer says, do you use just thick paint or do you use a medium to thicken it? Love your paintings, by the way. Thank you so much. So Jennifer, what I do is that I just use thick paint. I don't use any medium to thicken it. As a matter of fact, I use walnut oil to soften it, not to thicken it, so to make it more manageable as I'm painting. So I do add walnut oil to my paint for that reason, that it's just too damn thick, you know. It's too damn thick, and so I'm always looking for beautiful. BEA Beautiful. Be quick, be fast, but never in a hurry, my friends. Never in a hurry. Look at that. Is that something or what, beautiful people? Lots of simplicity in this. I think that's what makes something work. There's lots of simplicity to it. Look at that. It's like Billie Eilish with blue hair. Did Billie Eilish have blue hair? I think so, huh? I don't know. Not no more. I saw Billie Eilish yesterday on a photo. They were doing a photo shoot in the BMAs. I think it was the BMAs. She looked more like Marilyn Monroe. Changed the look. Look at that. Very simple stuff. Simple, not simpler, right? Simple, not simpler. Look at that. Beautiful. Just let the colors. The colors have to marry each other, to put it in that way. Renoir used to say it in a more in a more dramatic way. I call it married. Et olé, ça va? Ça va, et olé. Look at that. DEA, beautiful. Now I'm going to get some, just a little larger brush, and we're gonna paint some water right here. Beautiful. Look at that. Just a very simple approach. Makes me happy. I don't know why, it just does. Maybe because I don't feel like I have to think so much about it. Maybe I'm sort of cheating. I don't know. Sometimes I think about that, you know. Am I cheating in art? Because I don't have those feelings that lots of artists say they have of my work not being all that good, and the struggle, and I did used to have them, but I don't think I can say I have them. Maybe from time to time, maybe, but definitely not. I don't feel that heaviness anymore. What I feel is a lot of joy, and I'm being all zen here. Huh? You haven't seen me when I'm not being zen, but what I do feel is a lot of joy and gratitude for being able to do this. It feels good. It feels je ne sais quoi. Milano, parla italiano, what's happening? I told a few of my artist friends about you, and now they watch. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. There is no cheating in art. I love that. That is very true. It's coming out beautiful. I'm so excited to receive next week my first painting bought from you. Oh, thank you so much, Crystal. I really appreciate that. I get excited. I get excited about shipping artwork all over the world. That makes me very happy. It's like, man, I feel like I'm doing something for the first time in my life. I feel like I'm doing something good, something worth, something noble. You know, something noble. Not that I've never done anything noble in my life, but something consistently good. Something I keep doing that I'm like, oh man, this feels right. I'm creating artwork and I'm sharing it with people all over the world. This feels pretty good. It makes all the difference when you're doing what you love. It makes all the difference. It's something that brings me so much passion. it's almost like what else can we ask life? It seems like we got everything handled now. Jennifer says, where do you sell your art? I sell it directly here. I sell commissions, and I auction my artwork on eBay as well. And you can click the link in my profile here on Instagram, and it'll take you to my eBay auctions. All auctions start at $1, by the way. So it's a really cool thing that I've been able to do for some time now. So I'm gonna auction this painting, and I'm gonna start it at $1. And I have dozens of them, maybe even hundreds of them. I have dozens and dozens of paintings that I create every week. You know, I create dozens of them, and all of them with the same love and attention and quality. Nothing gets created without those three things: love, attention, and quality. Everything is created with that in mind, and that in action as well. And so I give it my best, and then I see what happens. I let it go and I see what happens. And most of the time, I would say every time, not just most of the time, really cool stuff happens. Really cool stuff happens. People get to have an original painting that they can cherish for the rest of their life and on. You know, they can leave it as an heirloom for their family, or they can sell it later on and get their money's worth and then some. The cool thing about the auction is that it's not being sold at the retail price, so it sells for a lot less than the retail price, and that's a good art is a good investment, especially when you buy low, right? It's a very good investment, and so it gives the opportunity for people to buy at lower price points and have something original. And then if you want something larger, well, I can create a commission for you that has a different price. That's not auctioned, but I do make all my work very affordable. And you know, as you go larger, you start climbing into different price points. And so everybody gets to play. People with very deep pockets and people whose pockets that may not be so deep, or may not want to spend so much in the beginning. Who knows? One thing is for sure, everybody plays. Dude, let's do another painting. This is oil. This is not acrylic. It is oil. You can also find my paintings on Etsy. You can find them on Cherish. You can find me in a couple of places, but the best place to find me probably is on eBay. Clicking that link in the profile. Let's do another painting. Enough with the commercials. One more painting. Then people are like, dude, this dude is giving all kinds of commercials. I am, you guys, I am. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta sell my work. So people tell me all the time, Jose, how is it that you paint so much? If you're painting so much, how do you keep on painting so much? The only way that I can keep on painting so much is if I keep selling my work. I could not keep painting so much. I would have to go and work a full-time job somewhere. I would paint every day, probably, maybe 1 or 2 hours a day, if I had a full-time job somewhere else. But I wouldn't paint as much. And so what keeps me painting so much is you guys, the people that are buying my work. It's what keeps me painting so much. So I'm always very grateful. I'll never stop being grateful for that, because it's what has allowed me to do this. You know, sure, I can say that it's me, right? Oh yeah, it's because I've I practice so much. I'm such a great artist. But no, the reality is that you keep me painting so much. You've valued my work and allowed me to paint and do this for a living, as a main occupation. Look at that. And that's really fun. So I'm forever grateful. Forever grateful. Yeah, I am. Look at this. Little penguin with some swag. This little penguin's gonna have all kinds of swag right now. Look. It's like happening. This is nice. Let me get a little bit of red, a little bit of purple, a little bit of white, a little bit of black. Red, purple, white, and black. Okay? My grays are probably the best grays in the world. It's been said. It's been said that my grays are the best. The bestest. Look at that. Some good grays right there. Ooh la la. Let me get a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red. That's all we need, just a little bit of yellow and red. Give this little homie some form. Look at that. Ooh la la. There we go. Very simple. Very, very simple. Look at that. Anything more than this, it's just me bragging. At this point, I'm just bragging, you guys. Life has been good to me. I'm not gonna deny that. Life has been very good to me. Being an artist, some of the funnest times in my life have been creating artwork. You know, if you remove the BS, all the challenging part of being an artist and whatnot, and you just embrace it both. You embrace the challenge and embrace the good as the bad, right? Be thankful for the darkness because without it you can't see the light. Be thankful for those dark moments. They're an indicator of the light. Without it doesn't exist. The opposite does not exist. And so in painting, I find that to be very true. It's okay, right? Sometimes it can be challenging. Sometimes the way we create artwork, sometimes the way we market, it might not be working. Maybe you're marketing your work and you suck at marketing. I don't know. Maybe you're a great artist, but you suck at marketing. Or maybe you are a bad artist, but you're great at marketing, and you wish that you could be a better artist because, you know, in your mind you're like, if I'm a better artist, it'll work better for me, or whatever stories, you know, one tells to our own head. I found out that the best approach is to embrace both the good, the bad, the easy, the simple, the hard. Embrace the both. It's both is necessary. Both is necessary. Look at that. Painting is an act of freedom. It really is. It's an act of surrender. It's an act of surrender. It's got difficulties, you know. It's a discipline of the spirit, not of the body. It's a discipline of the spirit. This is what I love about that movie. What was that name of that movie that came out a long time ago with Mel Gibson? The Patriot. When I was watching that movie, and he was having a hard time making those chairs, those rocking chairs. They kind of allude to the fact that there was too much in his mind. You only have a hard time in art if there's too much in your mind. It's really the times you have a hard time with art. And no one really knows what's inside someone else's heart, what they've experienced, what they've seen, the challenges that they've had to go through, the loss. And some people have had tremendous challenges in their life. And I believe that that's one of the reasons why people that have had tremendous challenge seek out some sort of discipline in the art. I used to know this person who was I think he was either FBI or CIA, I don't know, one of those blurry things. But he worked with wood. He would carve out wood, like little, all kinds of things, like turn wood. You know when they turn wood, little sculptures. And I would see him lose his shit, you know, when he was making them. I would see him lose his shit. And then go pick it up and then work at it and throw it away. It was quite comical, but it was he was dealing with something in his mind. Art does that. It helps you deal with those things. It helps you deal with those things, whatever those things are. Look at that. Look at that little penguin, dude. This penguin's everything right now. And so if you're one of those artists who gets your paint and you break it and you throw it on the wall and you kick the canvases, my friend, you are not alone. You are not alone. You're in good company. You could almost see being an artist is almost like a spiritual purifier. You're purifying your spirit, my friend. Keep at it. It's just part of it. To the degree in which you take it serious, it's the amount of seriousness that you have in your mind. You have lots of seriousness, serious commentary due to a serious past or a serious present or a serious something. And so if the artwork is that serious, there is some sort of seriousness in your mind that you're cleansing out. It's okay. It's part of it. Embrace it. Look at that. Art is therapy for the soul, for sure. And, you know, just about any type of art, whatever it is. It could be cooking, it could be writing, it could be playing the guitar, it could be painting. You might do it so much. So I used to have what do they call those? Panic attacks when I was younger. I don't know why. I don't know where they came from. I have a guess. Maybe the way I was raised, somewhere in my upbringing, but I'm not sure what. And so I used to have this panic attacks that, you know, for those of you who may not know what it is, you think you're gonna die, but you don't know why. It's kind of like psychologically you're brushing with death, and you have no reason. No, there's no reason. There's no evident threat, but you're convinced that that's what's happening. Your mind is convinced of that. And painting, I started painting it, and it was a life changer for me. And so I would have them very, very close, right? The panic attacks were very close. Two a week or more. And so I just started painting more. And I needed to deal with whatever that was, right? Emotionally. And painting was the painting was a bit of a catalyst for that. It was cathartic, because it forced me to be with myself and not be painting is a very lonely act. It seems, you know, not lonely, but maybe that's the wrong word. There's a lot of solitude in painting. It's not a negative. It's a lot of solitude. You're alone with yourself. You know, you're left to yourself. And so you have a lot of time in painting. And very good thing. It's a very good thing, because you embrace being alone. Not lonely, but you learn to embrace the solitude. And the solitude between your thoughts and you is a good one, because you learn to recognize that your thoughts are not you. It's just a running commentary. It's not you. And so you can become free of that. You can become free of the running commentary more and more through painting. But look at that. This is a good painting. So painting is like going for a hike minus the physical activity. It's like going for a hike, a very long hike. If you're painting for a couple of hours, or 3 hours, or 4, it's going for a very long hike into your consciousness. It can be that. It can be that. You're going within. Because you're letting your body operate, and your mind takes a step back. And you learn a lot of shit when your mind takes a step back. You start learning a lot about yourself, a lot about being a human. There's a lot of meditation happening there. Also, we're not our ego. I know this through painting. Yeah, you're not your ego. You're not that. You're not the commentary. You find out through painting. I mean, you can find out through cooking or reading or whatever. Not reading, maybe not reading. Maybe writing. Especially something that does not involve a thinking process. So in the beginning, you think painting is difficult because it involves a bit of thinking process. Because there's a technical aspect of painting. such as learning about colors and composition and values and all that stuff. And so painting is good for the soul. It really is. So in the beginning, you think it's about paint. Painting is about thinking, but it's not. You use thinking to paint in the beginning because you have to. It's good to learn about colors and all that technical stuff. But once you have a handle on that, it shouldn't take more than a couple of years to have a handle on that. Once you have a handle on that, if you do not suspend the thinking, you will not enjoy painting. Painting is about suspending the thinking. You have to suspend it. You have to go beyond it. If you do not suspend it, you will not enjoy it. You're always going to be in some sort of turmoil with your artwork. Lots of artists experience this. They say, Jose, do you like your painting? Because I hate my painting. And I'm like, no, it's because you're not. It's not that you hate your painting. There's nothing to hate about your painting. You don't really hate your painting. What you're disliking is the running commentary about your painting. That's what keeps you up at night. The running commentary around it. Get rid of the running commentary, and you can actually start enjoying painting again. Want nothing from it. Want nothing from it. Other than just doing it. Don't tell yourself I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it better. I'm going to do something very original. Don't tell yourself anything about painting. Just paint. And then you can enjoy it all over again. The problem is when you start telling yourself all these things that your painting needs to be. And so when you start telling yourself all these things, you're not enjoying it. You're trying to match some idea to your efforts. It's like going to the park or going to the movies or anything. If this doesn't come out the exact way I imagine it, I'm going to be upset, or I'm going to be in opposition. If it doesn't come out the exact way that I imagine it, well, what comes out the way you imagine it? Have you figured that one out? I keep joining competitions and never win. Well, stop joining competitions. Stop joining competitions. Just paint. The pressure of the competition is not allowing you to enjoy the painting. Or join the competition without that idea. Join the competition with the idea to compete, not to win. This is not to say that winning, there's something wrong with winning. No, you can. But if it's disappointing you, and you're missing the mark on what painting is about, change the approach. Change the commentary. It's not your painting, it's the commentary around your painting. It's that you're wanting it to perform a certain way. And if the painting doesn't do that, you could be upset, or you can get in opposition in your mind. But the painting will never do that. Even if it does it won't do it for too long. The painting will never do that for you. The painting itself, the exterior is not going to satisfy you. The painting is never going to satisfy that. It's never going to scratch that itch for you. Painting helps you realize that there is no itch, that you're making up the itch. It doesn't scratch the itch. It makes you realize there is no itch. The only real thing about life is just two things, really. In the spiritual, the only real thing about life is space. Space is the only real thing. And in the practical, the only real thing is change. That's why the scientists and philosophers, all the crazy ones, have said for millennia that the way to judge whether you're smart or not is if you can adapt to change, because it's the only real thing that happens in life. In the exterior, the only real thing happens is change. In the interior, the only real thing is empty. Look at that little bunny. We're getting philosophical here. There is nothing but space. Everything else is noise. That's why Rumi and other great teachers said, silence is the language of God, or be still and know that I'm God. Right? Silence, space, silence. Everything else is a poor translation. But in the practical, the only real thing is change. The only thing you will find to be true is that you were young, you get older, you had parents, they get older, they're here, they're gone. You had a job, the job changed. You had a house, the house changed. You had an idea of what your life needs to be like, but that idea never sticks around too long. It never stays too long with you. With nobody. It's not supposed to. If it stays too long with you, it doesn't mean you're winning. It means the fall is going to hurt. If it sticks too long with you. Like sooner or later it's going to change. Most of us we judge our life depending on what sticks too long with us. And whatever it is, right? excitement, health, money, whatever it is. That's how we judge life. I'm winning. I'm winning. Nothing's meant to stick too long. This is not a pessimistic way of looking at life. It's the opposite. It's an acceptance of the change. And so in painting is the same thing, you know. The only reason you have a hard time if you're painting is because you're not accepting the fact that it's ever moving. It's always changing. It's almost like a tree branch that's alive and it keeps moving. It gets green, it shrinks, it expands, right? Contracts and expands. And it's always moving. And it's a moving target. It's a moving target. I started understanding that not long ago, that life is a moving target. It's not meant for you to sit there and hold on to it. It's meant to move with it. It's meant so that you move with it. Whatever it is, right? It's a moving target. People call that problems. We like to call them problems. But I would call it life, because if it was stagnant, it'd be dead, right? Just look anywhere. Anything that's stiff is dead. Or close to, right? Very close to. Very little life in there. Pick up a rock, right? Very little life. Anything that's stagnant, it's pretty much dead. It's got very little consciousness in there. You know what? I think this one needs to be like that. No tail on this one. There we go. No tail in that little bunny. Look at that little bunny. Yeah, only the dead don't change. I mean, even they do change, right? They start decomposing until they turn into dust. But that's not a change that we look forward to, right? None of us are really looking forward to that change. In reality, change is a celebration of life. Oh my God, things are not the way they used to be. Good. Good. Good that they're not the way they used to be. It'd be very bad if they remain the same. It means they're dying. If they remain the same. A lot of people say that. Oh my God, things are not the same way. This is not the same way. That's not the same way. I'd be afraid if it was the same way. Too comfortable. It's the same way. It can't remain. That's why in any Greek mythology, like Odyssey or anything like that, always remained in constant change. Right? Can't stay too long in one place. because ultimately all structures have to crumble. And if you stay too long in one place, that structure, because it's the nature of all structures to crumble, you will feel the pain of that structure crumbling. That structure could be your youth, your wealth, your health, your family, your country, your ideas, your job. All structures are meant to crumble. Nothing stays evergreen. Nothing, anyways, right? Nothing stays evergreen. It's not supposed to. It's outside of its nature. And so painting helps you embrace the change. It never does. Have you noticed that in painting, it never does what you wanted it to do? It always behaves. It follows its own beat. It never really listens to you. And the practice of painting is learning that. Learning to accept the fact that it does whatever the hell it wants. Even if you're a master artist, I don't care if you're a master artist. It just never quite does what you wanted it to do. It always, for one reason or another, follows itself. Like my kids. Yeah. Anything is like that was a good one day. Like anything, right? Like, oh man, what happened? I used to be super fit. Well, maybe not no more. What happened? I used to be very young. Well, not no more. What happened? My children. I miss my children when they were little. All those things are a sign that you're not embracing change. I missed how I painted yesterday. Why am I not painting the same way today? All those things are just a sign that a change is not being embraced. And when change is not embraced, huge psychological pain enters through the window. Salam. Oh, I need to sign this. Let's do another one. I'm gonna sign it. Nothing but change. The only constant thing we have is change. The beauty of change is that it burns slowly. It looks like it goes fast, but it doesn't. It burns slowly. You have to keep. It's like a dynamite. You know, you light it. You were born. It lights, and then it starts moving. That thread, right, starts moving. What most people do is that they pay attention to the ashes. Here's a fire. Here's a fire. It's moving. Most people pay attention to the ashes, or to the future. Almost nobody pays attention to the fire. Some people have. We call those saints. People call them Christ. different names, the Buddha. Those people pay attention to the fire. Most of us, we only pay attention to the ashes, or to that which is not burning. That is that's the problem of life. All right, uno más. Let's do another painting. Uno más. Some religions and some traditions call that the narrow door. Nobody looks at the fire. It burns slowly, but we think it's fast. Of course, you think it's fast because we never look at it. That's why we think it's fast. Our eyes are set in the ashes, or in that which is not burning. Someone a long time ago said to keep your hands on the plow. Don't look back. Look at that. They tried teaching that in different ways, but they got lost in translation. Philosophical translation too. At some point they called it the pearl. They called it the 99th sheep. And all sorts of names. In other places they also called it the way. The light, the way. The fire. Let's see if this tone is the right one. Yeah, I think it's the right one. It'll work. Look at that. Ooh la la, all kinds of Francois, my friends. And sometimes we get into it. I don't know why we get into it, but we get into it here. It must be necessary. The only channel where we don't talk about art, but the channel is about art. It's the only place that it's about art, but we will not discuss art in here. We'll talk about anything but art. So if you were expecting to learn about art here, maybe maybe I have disappointed you. And for that I apologize. Look at this. Boom, blue dress. There we go. What did I miss again? Welcome, welcome, Diana. Our reflects life and sometimes vice versa, yeah. Love that. Oh, the whole thing is connected. The whole thing is connected by a glue called emptiness. Look at that. Now this is a good painting. I can sense it. I can sense it. Very illustrative so far. It's because arts are our language of those things that you can't see. So lots of us want to paint what we see, but it's the stuff that you can't see that you need to be painting. It's like little whispers, little things that you're not able to see, but you know they're there. You sense them. It's what happens in between the lines that art is born. It's right in between the lines. Look at that. So we're getting poetic today. It's the intangible stuff, you know? It's the intangible stuff. If I were to tell you that I loved you, you know, no matter how I say it, no matter in what words I say it, no matter how poetic, I could write you a letter and tell you how much I love you. No matter how I say it, how poetic, or in what language do I say it, that can only go so far. But if your child or your spouse or your mother read the same words, that what makes the difference between what they read. What makes the difference between the words are the same, it's the same letter. What makes the difference between them reading it and me, that thing right there, that's art. A lot of people can't see it. So when we paint, we're like, oh, if I just paint better. It's not about the delivery of the words. It's, does it have weight? Who's saying it? Does it matter? That's where the art is. So artists, we get trapped in this idea of, oh man, if I just paint a little better, if I just do this a little better, if I don't care. You could write the letter in golden letters in Old English. If I say them, they will not have the weight as if someone you love says it. Or your baby when they first call you mama. The meaning of the whole thing, not meaning as in story, the meaning, the weight that it carries. That's the intangible. That's the shit you want to be painting. The stuff you can't see. How do you paint that? Well, you can't keep focusing on you can't keep focusing on the letters. We're all focusing on the letters. How do you paint invisible? Well, you gotta stop. You gotta step away from the letters. You gotta step away from, oh man, this has to be realistic. This has to be. No, it doesn't. It'd be nice. Sure, it's nice that you have some sort of understanding of color theory and this and that, but all those things are good. But ultimately, what are you saying, and if what you're saying has any weight? And I think everybody can do it. I don't think everybody can do it the same way, but I think everybody can do it. Yeah. someone said also that art, a long time ago, they said that art is to describe art is like the sound of a bird, the singing of a bird, right? You want to hear it, although you don't understand it. You have no idea what the bird is saying or how it's creating the sound, nothing. But you want to hear it because it's as profound as poetry. And so when people say, I'm looking at your painting, but I don't know what it is, then I'm doing my job then. If you don't know what it is, if you're not sure, if you're unsure of something in my painting, I'm doing my job. If I line it up all for you to the point where you can dissect it and you can say this is because of that, that's not art. I'm merely writing a note, not a love letter. I'm really, it's the difference between your what do they call it? Your list, your grocery list, and one of the most sublime pieces of poetry by Rumi. And a lot of us, in the necessity to get the painting right, you end up writing grocery lists instead of pieces of poetry, because we want to get it right. In our pursuit of I gotta get it right, you end up writing grocery lists. Again, right? Because we're focusing on the words and the letters, not the message. Not even the message, the meaning inside of it. Look at that. So that's my rant today, guys. Where does the train go? I don't know. Probably Texas. Rumi told the truth. Brave is the one who, when love attacks, surrenders. Oh, I love that. Love this one. Looks like my legs. I love that. Very cool. Look at that. Lots of flowers. Gonna hop on that train one day and come crash your studio. You're welcome anytime. Oh, I love that. Liv Tyler. There it is. Well, there it is, my friends. We've done it again. We've managed to say all kinds of crazy stuff, and finish a painting all at the same time. I had a visit earlier today. Somebody wanted wants a portrait. And usually when I get people come here, I almost never let people come to the studio because I'm working, right? But usually when I do is somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows me. Somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows me. There it is. Thank you so much. I know how much you love visitors on work days. As much as the next person, right? But you are always welcome here, Diana, though. You'd be treated like a special visitor. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna charge this phone. I'm gonna clean my palette, and then we'll get back to it. We'll do another live or something. Thank you. I really like this. I kind of really like this. I think she's dancing or moving around. Hey, Alex. Oh, sorry about that, Alex. Hey, there is next time. I'm going to be doing this. And more than welcome to come by and hang out. Stay well, my friends. Look, I got black paint on my fingernails. Boom. Did I definitely need a Maddie? What is it? Manny? A Manny. I got a Petty last time, but I need a Manny now. Self-love painting. Yeah, I think so. It has that. It has that vibe. Thank you, everybody. Stay well and sophisticated, my friends. Peace out.